Alright, I wanted to go over how to do assignments number 2 and 3. For assignment 2, the Google slide didn't come out how I thought it was going to come out, so I already deleted it from my slide, but all of you had the copies made for you, and so you have an extra slide there. You'll notice that there's 2 slides that are identical. Yours will not have these boxes. This is what I added. But you're going to have 2 of the same slide number 2. So you can delete one of those. So rather than going through this, I'm going to show you what I meant to give you today. And then based on what I show you, you can modify your assignment. So this is the assignment that I should have given you. I meant to make a bunch of different versions of the 1 inch divided up by different fractions. So on this first row, we have our single inch divided up in halves. The next row, we divide it up into fourths, followed by dividing it up into eighths. Then sixteenths. And lastly, 30-seconds. So, the point of the assignment was for you to be able to see a pattern, and let me go back. If you look closely at the lines on a ruler, you'll notice that they are different lengths, and those different lengths correspond to different fractions. So the longest line, other than our 0 inch and 1 inch lines, our whole numbers, would be the 1/2 inch line. And the next tallest line would be the 1/4. Now, when you're dividing an inch up into fourths, of course we have 0/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, but 2/4 can be reduced into 1/2. So you pretty much can see that same exact trend. It's almost like a wave. And by noticing those trends, it'll help you to read a ruler faster. So I redrew all of the different measurements and I reduced them to their most reduced fraction. And I'll provide you guys with this as reference, and we can look at it closer and you'll be able to recognize more patterns. One big pattern you'll notice is these are going to be odd. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on. That's for the 30 seconds. Now let's look at the 16ths. We have 1/16, 3/16, 5, 7, and so on. Now let's look at the eighths. 1/8, 3/8, 5/8, and so on. How about the fourths? 1/4, 3/4, fourths and the halves. Well, we only have that 1/2. Now, when I started making the Google slide, I realized that it's really hard to write fractions on the slides. And so I decided, like, one workaround was to create text boxes. I mean, not text boxes, tables. So I said insert table, and I made it like that. Then you have to resize it. And then I would select the whole thing and change it to transparent, and then click on that line in the middle, change that to black, and then there we go. And then you can type in the boxes. I originally had that on a slide, and I thought when I assigned it, I thought you guys had that text box there for you. But I'm thinking the slide that I duplicated replaced the slide with the text, or with this table set up. So you still would have had to copy it anyway. I only had one, and I was expecting you could copy and paste it, but oh well. So if you want to put the fractions this way, then you can follow it like this. I also provided a link to my Google Slides, so you can, where it says sample slide, you can just go on here, and then you are welcome to just copy and paste onto your slide. And that's because this is sort of meant to be like notes. And for this slide, you just need to have at least these. Or you don't even have to have the 1/2. I wanted you to have 1/32 aligned with this first line, and 16/32, which is reduced to 1/2. And that's pretty much it. It was just an introductory thing, but I don't think that there were enough instructions, and it didn't go as I planned, so hopefully this helps. Now, for the ruler practice, you will open it up with Cami. And if you have a different way of writing on PDFs, that's fine. Just make sure that when you turn it in that you're actually uploading the PDF file. Alright, so for this assignment, what you're going to do is just measure each object that is aligned above the ruler. And I think maybe this will help, maybe it won't, but if you want to add text, or not text boxes, the box highlighter, it might help you to visualize where exactly you're measuring. So for this first one, all of these rulers are in 1/16. So what you can do is you can just count the number of tick marks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 tick marks out of 16. And the reason it's out of 16 is because from here all the way to here, that would be 16 tick marks. Now, since it's closest to the 0, it hasn't reached 1 inch yet, then you just don't put 1 inch, just 7/16 inches. You can, if you're not really sure how to check your work, what I recommend doing is kind of thinking about like, oh, it's almost 1/2, like it's almost 8/16, and 8/16 would reduce to 1/2. And if you can look at where 1/2 is on the ruler, well, it's right here. And it looks like it's really close to 1/2. It's 1/16 away from 1/2 inch. Now to enter your work on here, you can just use a text box and type And then you can just, this is what I did. Let me remove this. So I wrote 7, whoops. Okay, 7, and then just press enter, 16. Now I just highlighted the 7. Now I'm gonna click on underline. And to make it look just a little bit better, I'm also going to center this. And that's it. If you want to add the word inches, you can just add another text box next to it. And there we go. So, as a quick reminder, after you finish the assignment, you can save it, but, well, go ahead and save it, but the real thing is you need to download it. So that way, if you think you saved it, but somehow Cami loses your work, then, well, if you do it this method, what I'm about to show you, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to rely on Cami. So you're going to download it with annotations, and you're going to decide if you want that to be downloaded directly to your computer or Google Drive. If you are working on a Chromebook, you might only have the option to upload to Google Drive, but if you do have the option to download to your computer, the location to access it would be in your files. And there's, I'll have to show you in class. I don't have a way to show you right now, but there's a launch, I think it's called like the launcher. It's like a circle, you press that where you can see all of your apps on a Chromebook, and there's one that says files. If you click on that, then that's where, if you were to download it or export, it would go into your files. So this is what it looks like for me. A document pops up on the lower left-hand side. I oftentimes, since I'm working on a desktop, I just drag that to my desktop computer, and now I have that file and I can organize it as I want. So once you have that done, just upload it to assignment number 3 and press turn in. That's it.